Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you some of the gameplay and cool features in Majora's Mask. As you can see, the file selection menu resembles the one in Ocarina of Time, only this one you can only make 2 save files, whereas the one in Ocarina of Time you can make 3. Alright, just a quick little overview of the game. It takes place shortly after Ocarina of Time and starts out with the Skull Kid stealing Epona and your ocarina and eventually turning you into a Deku shrub. You must wait out the 3 days to be able to turn back into your normal kid self, and then you can embark on the great journey of defeating the 4 main bosses and stopping Skull Kid and his evil plan of destroying Clocktown with the help of his mystical mask Skull Kid previously stole. So the goal of the game is to beat the 4 bosses and then eventually defeating Skull Kid and getting his mask back. Now here we are in Clocktown. I obviously already turned back into Kid Link. So now I will show you some of the cool stuff inside of our menu. Alright, here we have the menu and it resembles the one in Ocarina of Time, but obviously there are a few differences in some of the items and the color scheme of it. And you have obviously more places to put some of the bottles. And here we have the map, and with this you actually need to purchase parts of the map instead of just unlocking it just from being within the area. And then over here is the menu to view your songs, weapons, how many heart pieces you have, also which dungeons you have beaten. And a cool new feature in this is the Bomber's Notebook, where you can log all of the quests you have made and completed and the masks that you've collected throughout the game. This is optional, but is still a cool feature to have while you play, so you can see your progress and not miss out on any of the side quests or anything. As you can see, I've completed most of them so far, but I still have a few more to go. So here is the lovely mask menu that stores all of the masks that you have patiently earned or received. This is the full collection of masks that you can get in the game. I'll just scroll through all of them for you. Some of these masks have special powers that I will show you later in this review, while others just trigger funny remarks or different commentary from people. Most of them you actually need to trigger the next step in your game, or to help you with side quests. Personally, this is my favorite feature in the game. It just really lets you connect with a lot of the characters as you're in the process of getting these masks. So if you know what you're doing, it can be a lot of fun. All the masks that are in this right column here, all of these you can actually transform into that specific character or creature. So not only can you be Link, but you can be other creatures that everyone has known about playing the other Zelda games. Of course with a little Link twist style to it. So you can be Deku, you can be Goron, you can be Zora, or you can be the lovely Fierce Deity Link. So here we are back in Clocktown. You don't necessarily need to start here, but if you do not save your game, this is where you start, right here on the first day. I really enjoy this town, and I really like the colors they chose, and they even have similar characters from Ocarina of Time that they brought back, so I like how they kept that in there. Clocktown has 4 different parts to it. It is north, south, east, and west, so that seems pretty simple to understand. At every part of town, you have an option to leave at that specific exit, so if you don't know where you'll be once you leave, this guard here will let you know where you are headed and what you are headed towards. If you just started the game, you'll have to talk to him regardless, so it's kind of like Milo in Ocarina of Time that won't let you get past him unless you have a sword and a shield. So once you get past him, you can go out and explore the terrain. I like this map and how it's laid out. It's easy to find where you're going, and you don't have to deal with too many enemies in your way. As you can see, I'm wearing the bunny hood, which in this game makes you run a lot faster. So I always have that on, or if I have the Goron mask, I usually use that to get around. So with this game, if you want to warp somewhere, you only have one option of song to play called the Song of Soaring. With Ocarina of Time, you had different songs to use to warp to different locations. In this game, they just have one. They're making it easier on you, so you're welcome. Once you play that, you get brought to your menu where you can choose which location you want to quote-unquote soar to. So for this, we're just going to soar to Woodfall, and I will bring you to the first temple that you will have to play in this game. So here we are at the outskirts of the Woodfall Temple, and as you can see, I was brought to an owl statue. These are pretty much the different soaring locators that you can warp to. What you need to do to activate them is just hit them with your sword, and you will be able to access that soaring point for the rest of your game. Now, at every owl statue location, you will be provided with jars or plants that usually give you a fairy or any useful items depending on what weapon you currently have. So for this one, I get a fairy, and what you usually want to do is collect as many fairies as you can. I mean, you're provided with multiple jars that you can carry stuff in, so I would stock up on fairies if I were you, because this game can get frustrating and some of the enemies can be a little bit more difficult than the ones in Ocarina of Time. So here we are. What you need to do to activate this is I will show you the first transformation that you can make in this game. I'm going to transform into a Deku shrub. So once I do that, you go through this cool little cutscene of you turning into that Deku shrub, which is really neat effect. So this little guy plays the trumpets, I guess you can call it. So I'm just going to play a song here, and that will activate the actual temple to come out of the water. So you can watch this cool little cutscene here. Now, I think with every single temple, it has a really cool way to enter it. So this is the first one that you will be able to view. Alright, so now you are ready to enter it. So you just go into this little flower thing, and you can shoot up, and you can actually hover for a short amount of time depending on which flower plant that you go into. I know some of them, the yellow ones, you can go at a higher distance and a longer flight range, I guess. The next location that you must travel to is Mountain Village. Now, since I have already been to all of these locations before, it is easier to travel to. If you haven't been there before, you actually have to travel there on foot, and you have to actually access the owl statue once you find it, so that you can soar there in the future to save a lot of time. So here I am soaring to Mountain Village, and I will put on the appropriate costume for this kind of atmosphere. So I will be turning into the Goron Link. Now, the fast way that he travels is he actually has a rolling feature, and once you hit the certain limit, when you roll, you can see on the sides, you will turn into spikes, and you can roll into different enemies and different, like these snow piles here, you can actually crush through. And during the game, obviously, you'll need that. So that's a cool little feature, and it's a very good way to travel faster in a certain area. The instrument that the Goron uses are the drums, and I just love how each character has their own personal instrument that they like to use. It just makes the game kind of cool like that. So now I'm taking you to the Zora's domain, where I will show you what you can do with Zora Link. I think this is definitely the scariest transformation there is, to be honest. Okay, now, as you may already know, that Zora Link is a great swimmer. So this feature is useful for any of those parts in the map where you are completely underwater. There also is an option to sink down to the bottom of the water on the surfaces. So sometimes there are pots down there, or enemies that are just crawling on the bottom of the water that you need to actually go down there. Or even sometimes there could be a switch under the water that you'll need to go on the ground for, so that's a great feature. Now for him, he actually rocks the, I guess it's a dead fish guitar, so that's what he does. Every single instrument that they have, they all have a backstory to it, and they also have a quest that kind of explains why they have that instrument, so I think that's a really cool thing. Alright, here we are at the last temple's entrance, and it may look a little overwhelming at first, but once you understand the system of it, you can finally enter the temple. Now with this, you need to play a certain song that will create a statue of yourself that you can use to hold down the right switches on the ground and in the right order. Now I won't give anything away for you, so I'll just show you what it looks like to use it. So you can do this with the Deku, Goron, Zora, and the regular just Kid Link. And unfortunately you can't do it with the Fierce Deity Link. So here's what the statue looks like. It can be a little creepy, but it does the job right. Now here I'm going to play some of the songs that you can learn on your own. That is, you are not really taught this song. It's not in your actual song list, but some of them, this one's just like doubling the Song of Time, which will make you go forward one day, and this is just the regular Song of Time, which can bring you back to the first day. Also, you have an option to invert the Song of Time, which gives you the option to either slow down the time or put it back to normal. Personally, I always slow down time when I'm playing, that way I don't feel as rushed. So it's a very good thing to have once you actually figure out what it's used for. Here I am showing you some of the masks that actually have a cool little feature that you can trigger. This right here is the Chimera's mask that triggers a cool little dance that Link does. Next we have the Bremen mask, which lets you march around to a song. This mask quest actually is very, very cute. Next we have the Blast mask. Yeah, not too helpful. And then we have the Great Fairy mask, which lets you know if there are stray fairies around. This mask is very useful in dungeons and helping Link get the guys. Next we have the Keaton mask, the Circus Leader's mask, Cafe's mask, Couple's mask, Mask of Truth, Captain's hat, Garrow's mask, Gibdo mask, Romani mask, which is very funny, Mask of Sense, Don Garrow's mask, Postman's hat, All Night mask, and then the Stone mask. Now, if those masks didn't make you want to play this game, then I really hope that this next one makes you want to go and hook you up your N64 and pop in Majora's Mask. Alright. The Fierce Deity Link mask. This can only be triggered within the boss's lair, like when you are going to defeat a boss. This mask actually is extremely powerful. Also, it turns you into an adult version of Link, so when you roll or swing your sword or something like that, it does make adult Link sounds. So that's a really awesome feature, plus he has a sweet sword, something that, you don't normally see in a game. I think it's very unique. So here I am at the first boss that you actually have to battle in the game. Now usually this takes, I want to say like around 3 or 5 minutes to beat, but with Fierce Deity Link, basically you just Z target him, and once you Z target, you just act like you are swinging the sword. So you press B, and it fires off a horizontal saw-like figure that does extremely powerful damage. So basically any enemy that you have beaten in the dungeons basically take like half the time of that to defeat the boss when you have Fierce Deity Link. So it obviously is kind of a cheap way to defeat a boss, but it's still really in a cool way. I hope you guys enjoyed this review that I have done. I've taken a lot of time to figure out what exactly I wanted to say about the game, so I hope having you watch this that you might like it a little better. I don't know if some of you guys just didn't like the game just from what you've heard, but hopefully by actually seeing the game and seeing that it actually is playable and some of the cool features of it, I hope that you guys change your mind on how you think of this game. So thank you very much for watching, and I really enjoyed making this video. I will definitely make more of these, so let me know what you thought of it, and I will see you soon. Alright, see you guys.